Watch your profanity.
Well, eventually one of these days we'll get all four of us back on a screen together, but today is not that day as we miss our editor-in-chief, Andrew, but we've still got Brennan, and we've got the real star of the show, the sexiest GM in eMLB. For those of you who are wondering what that is, check out our other stuff, but it is JR. And gentlemen, football season is well and truly underway. Some upsets, some bad games, and this week is no different as well.
A lot of bad games.
Throw the damn ball is all I have to say. Throw the damn ball is all I have to say. So let's.
Unless you're the Falcons, in which case keep running it.
Yeah, unless you're the Falcons. So let's talk about this week of games. I mean, I'm gonna dive right into it. We'll do maybe this might be a little bit shorter of a normal episode, but here was our week 6.
All right,
well,
let's
you're
turn
gonna
the
notice
page.
one thing right off the bat is that Andrew, Aiden, and myself did pretty good this week, and well, JR went against the grain on most of these picks, and that did not work out very well for him.
Yeah, I think, guys, I may have to take a page out of Brendan's book and, one of these weeks start bringing back the coin because
honestly, you might have more
get
luck
much worse.
with that.
Yeah, well, the coin would have landed 2 heads. If you picked heads or tails on the Commanders-Bears game, Commanders would have been heads, and both sides would have been heads. That was a disgusting game, but that was disgusting.
2 back-to-back terrible Thursday night games.
Yeah, and we're not really in for much better this week.
Yeah, and then, I mean, honestly, Sunday Night Football was not terrible.
That was a pretty good game, I thought. That the Cowboys got down early, and you're thinking, man, the Eagles are just going to smoke them out of here. But you got to give Dallas credit, for fighting back into that game. And, if they could have just forced, a field goal there at the end, maybe they have a shot to go down to try to win it.
Yeah, Cooper Rush didn't look as bad as I thought he was going to in that game.
Cooper Rush is a career backup, but I think Cooper Rush is the kind of career backup that, like, backups fall into 2 tiers. The kind who you never want ever seeing the field, like,
he's a Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yes, like the kind of guy who can play.
Yeah. I think, one thing that's interested me about the Cowboys is at what point do they finally make the call that Tony Pollard should get more carries than Ezekiel Elliott?
Zeke is not a good running back. I hate to say it.
I mean, Zeke did average 6.2 yards a carry in that game, but
yeah, but he just, it feels like Tony Pollard's the more explosive player at this point. I mean, I understand not wanting to necessarily turn him into a bell cow running back and still kind of split carries, but I would love to see it.
Also averaging 4.1 yards a carry this year. It's not like Zeke's bad. The conversation around Zeke revolves around the fact that he's grossly overpaid for what he does, and that's true. But I think Pollard is the more explosive back, specifically because he's not getting the lion's share of carries.
Yeah, that could be.
It honestly is, like, for me, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, are the Cowboys really primed to potentially make a wild card run? And are the Eagles as good as they are, or is it just they haven't played any good teams?
Maybe both. I kind of feel that way about a lot of the quote unquote good teams this year. That normally by week 6, you kind of know who the good teams and the bad teams are going to be this year, and it does not feel that way in this NFL.
Yeah, I mean, even that Jets Packers game, over the weekend on Sunday. I mean, I know, the Packers. I think we all can realize now the Packers are not, one of the top tier teams in the league, but you still didn't expect the Jets to go into Lambeau and just utterly dominate them throughout the entire game.
Breece Hall do the Jets version of the Lambeau leap, find a bunch of Jets fans out in the end zone seats.
Yeah, and former Cincinnati Bearcat Sauce Gardner running around with the the cheese head on his head there. He was obviously having a great time. I mean, good for the Jets. I mean, that's a team that they've pulled out a couple of those kind of surprising wins this year, and they might really finally be moving in the right direction there.
I think they are. I think they've got a good coach. I think they've got a defense with a ton of young talent on it. I
Yeah.
think that they've got an offensive line that's getting better. They have a really good young rookie quarterback. Not quarterback, running back. And then they have a passable dude at quarterback, which is all you really need.
Hey, but one of the greatest football personalities there is.
He got that dog in him.
He do got that dog in him. All right, let's take a look at our overall record so far. After 3 4-1 weeks, we got Andrew at 16-19, Brendan at 14-11, me coming in finally cracking 500 at 13-12, and JR at an abysmal 5-18. JR, I hope you're ready for this punishment because I don't know what Andrew's got up his sleeve yet.
Well, you know what? JR was the one who suggested the truffle shuffle, so
yeah, this could be rough.
You might regret suggesting that.
This could be real rough. All right, let's move into crappy game week number 7. Oh, sorry, did I say that aloud?
Yes.
Oh, well, it's true. First of all, Thursday night, Saints at the Cardinals. Pretty shitty matchup if I do say so myself. What are we feeling? What are we thinking?
Well, I think we should let JR give us Andrew's pick first for each of these primetime games, as well as the lock and the underdog, and then we'll go from there.
Sounds like a plan. So Andrew in this game, he's got the Cardinals pulling out the win. He says, both teams are playing kind of below the expectations everybody set for them, coming into this season, but he feels like a returning DeAndre Hopkins, along with the fact that, Jameis Winston's still a little questionable at QB for the Saints, gives the Cardinals enough of an edge there to get the win.
I'll go next, and I will take the Cardinals as well. Or I put the Cardinals in JR's spot down there. My bad, because I heard JR talking. But I'll take the Cardinals as well. Here's my theory. Ready? DeAndre Hopkins. You also just added Robbie Anderson. I've seen Jameis Winston play in prime time. It's not a pretty thing. It's in Arizona on a short week. This has the Cardinals written all over it.
Well, you know what? There's a couple holes in that theory, though. Yes, they're getting Hopkins back, and yes, they added Robbie Anderson. They also only have a short week to prepare them for this game. I think the Cardinals are chaotic already, and they're going to come even more chaotic. Plus, Jameis Winston most likely will not be starting quarterback this game. It's going to be Andy Dalton. And I think that the Saints' offense has looked better with Dalton. I think that's not much of a compliment, but I think they've looked better. I do think the Saints are going to win this game because the Cardinals are a shit show, and I do not think Cliff Kingsbury is going to make it to next season.
Wow.
JR?
This one, I kind of mirror what Andrew said about, it's a couple teams kind of playing below expectations. I am going to go with the Cardinals in this, just, if nothing else, the short week and being at home, tends in most cases, a lot of times these Thursday night games to favor the home team a little bit, but I think Arizona does just enough to win.
So here's a little prop for you guys, a prop bet. Will the winner over under for the winner's amount of points, whoever wins this game, will it be over under 13.5 points?
Over.
Wait. The winner's total or like total points?
The winner's total.
Over.
Yeah, I think it's well over.
I mean, we've had two 12-point winners.
I think we're looking at like a 17-14 game.
I think the winner gets into the 20s here.
Oh, wow. JR feeling spicy on Thursday Night Football this week.
Well, with how these Thursday night games have been, yeah.
I
like JR being safe and staying with the pack. That way, in case he's wrong, most other people are going to be wrong too.
Yeah, just let me pick last in all these, just so that.
All right, Steelers Dolphins. What did Andrew say about this Sunday night matchup?
So Andrew's got the Dolphins going for the win here. He said, obviously the Steelers had a really impressive win Sunday, beating the Bucs, but they were at home there, and it feels like, Tua looking like Tua is going to return for Miami, that their offense should be too much for Pittsburgh.
Brennan, you're next.
You know what? It's really hard to pick this one because on one hand, you have a Steelers offense that looks like absolute dog shit. and you have a Dolphins offense that's going to be returning a quarterback who's missed 3 weeks due to concussion. I think that this is going to be the ugly, low-scoring primetime game, not Thursday night. I mean, Thursday night will be low-scoring, but this one will be like what we've been seeing on Thursday Night Football. I'm going to give it to the Dolphins based on the fact that they're at home, but I hate this game. Both teams are interesting to watch. I like both these teams, like in principle. I like their coaches. I like their young quarterbacks. I just think that both teams are in a spot right now where we're going to watch some really ugly football.
I agree. JR.
I'm kind of like, with Brendan, where this is a tough one for me to pick, but I'm going to go with the Steelers going on the road, pulling the victory out here. I think, their defense is going to be able to play well enough and kind of, make Miami into a one-dimensional offense. Their offense, some of their weapons in the air have started to kind of put some things together. You combine that with Najee Harris, I think they've got enough to go into Miami and open some eyes there.
I think this Florida team is going to do what the Bucs didn't, and that's attack a very hurt Steelers secondary. Throw the ball. And no offense, when you got Tyreek Hill on the other side, he's going to be real hard to defend against. This just has whether it's Tua or Teddy Bridgewater, this has a T starting quarterback absolutely tattooing a beat-up Steelers defense.
That's an abysmal alliteration if I've ever heard one.
I didn't say I give good alliterations. I just say I give alliterations.
All right. Well, if you thought Thursday was good and you loved Sunday, then Monday Night Football is the matchup for you because we have the Bears at the Patriots.
Hold on, Brennan. You didn't say it right. The Bears.
Yeah. Does this game have like a 2.5 hour time frame on it written all over it or what?
I hope it gets done in less than that.
I'd rather watch Canadian football than this.
Canadian football is pretty fun.
Right?
I can tell you this. I will not be watching this Monday night game. I will be finding something better to do with my time, and I will be happier for it.
So, JR, what did Andrew say about this shit show of a game?
Yeah, Andrew is pretty short and sweet on this one. He's going the Patriots. He says he can't in good faith choose the Bears to win a game right now.
Honestly, that might be the most accurate sentiment we've heard all week.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to agree. I mean, the Bears are a tough team to pick to win a game. I'm going with the Patriots. Bailey Zappi, he's actually played really well for New England so far, filling in there, and they still have a good running game, even with Damian Harris, beat up and hurt. Ramondre Stevenson still playing really well. So I think the Patriots go ahead and get another win here.
I have nothing nice to say about the Bears.
Patriots. Neither do I. So our second straight Monday night clean sweep.
Hopefully similar results to this week's Monday night clean sweep.
All right. It's time for Lock of the Week. Andrew, what does he have?
So Andrew's lock, his number one pick for a lock here is the Raiders over the Texans.
Ooh.
Does he already have the Raiders logo, or do I have to actually go pull it here?
He feels like the Raiders are not as bad as their record shows. They can use this game against the Texans to get back on track after the bye week.
All right, hold on. So Andrew goes with the Raiders. Good pick there from him. I think that's a safe pick. I guess I'll go first with my lock of the week. I'm going up here. Hopefully they don't let me down. This week they're against Andrew's Carolina. Andrew, I am sorry. I apologize if it wants to copy and paste.
I thought he was going to be taking the whichever team was playing against Carolina as his lock. So I'm a little bit surprised to see him take the Raiders instead of the Buccaneers here.
Yeah, but I'm going to take the Bucs. I know it's a little homer, but as my logic went last week, bad team that they're playing against. This time I actually think that Tom Brady is going to kick his butt into gear after some of his post-game comments. After this last game, I think it was a real wake-up call for him, and I just don't think, especially after dealing after dealing Robbie Anderson, I don't really think, DJ Moore is a good player, and so is Christian McCaffrey, but I really don't know how much they have. And the quarterback position is just terrible.
All right, for the third straight week, I'm going to be taking an underdog as my lock. 1-1, I believe. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yes, correct.
I don't keep track of this shit.
Correct.
There's an offense in the NFL that looks like dog shit. There's a young defense that looks really good. The young defense is on the road, and the offense looks terrible at home. And I think the Jets are going to roll into Denver and just stomp them. Give me the Jets over the Broncos.
I love that.
By the way, Broncos only favored by 1.5, which is an absolutely disrespectful spread when they're the home team.
There's two very disrespectful spreads in here.
Yeah, there are. I would agree with that.
All right, so Brennan going with the Jets, not exactly shocked. Guys, you're seeing how we edit on the fly here. Brennan, I think you gave the most accurate pick of the day. Like probably the one that's here. You know what? Oh, I'm going to do it like this. Ready? I can just replace this. Oh, this is called editing at its finest, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what? This is what happens when we employ a expert technical crew to handle all of our graphics. This is the kind of production value you can expect to see from Joe's on the Pros.
Exactly. So JETS, Jets, baby. JR, take us home.
I think I got to go back to my well of Houday Nation, going with the Bengals to beat the Falcons this week. The Bengals have won 3 out of their last 4 games. The only one they lost was at the gun there to the Ravens on the road, game they could have very easily won. And coming back home to face the Falcons this week, I think they're going to play really well there and get another win.
Brendan, against your team, what does it make you feel?
I feel disrespected. But honestly, I'm not surprised. I would be more. I would feel worse about it if he didn't make a homer pick. His team's favored. He should take that as his lock. I get it.
All right, let's move on to lay underdogs. Andrew's going last in this one, whether he likes it or not. He's not here. Actually, no, we have to let him go first.
How many choices does he have?
He gave us 2 in here.
All right, so how about this? We'll go first, and then if we see if one of his underdogs hits, we'll give him his second one.
All right, works for me.
JR,
you went last this time. Lead offs.
So Brendan was talking about the Jets and Broncos spread being pretty disrespectful to the Jets there, and I think another one that was just as disrespectful is the 5-1 Giants being a 3-point underdog in Jacksonville against the Jags. Say what you want about the Giants and Daniel Jones, but man, they've pulled out some big wins so far this year, including that one this past weekend against Baltimore. I'm going with the G-men heading down to Jacksonville and getting a quality win there and an upset.
I love it.
One of my favorite things I listen to the Around the NFL podcast. And one of my favorite things about that podcast is every time they mention the Giants, they go, the G-Men. It's obnoxious, and it fits the team perfectly. Now, I'm really glad you decided to take the Bengals as your lock, JR. Because the Falcons are 6-0 against the spread. And I think this week, they are poised to steal a win on the road against the Bengals. I think they're going to possess the ball for damn near 40 minutes, grinding down that clock and forcing 1 or 2 key turnovers, cruising to something tasteful, 27-20 win.
Gentlemen, dare I get a little frisky with my pick?
Get frisky.
Get frisky, baby.
Dare I get a little frisky? The San Diego, the former San Diego Chargers in LA don't look good. They're playing at their home field in SoFi. That really isn't their field. It's really the Rams field. Seattle is hot. Seattle is young. Seattle is behind a young Geno Smith, ladies and gentlemen. Again, that's getting a little carried away. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. But they're about to go into LA and show them who's boss. Give me Seattle. Give me the Seahawks, baby. I love what they're doing out there. Give them to me. I like them as my upset.
Yeah, Geno Smith is playing really well with that offense out there. So
playing out of his mind.
Who thought we would ever be saying that?
I love it. I'm so happy. I love watching true redemption stories. And no matter how long this lasts, if this were to stop this week, we would still have this magical ride. And it will never, ever, 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 ever lose its meaning, because this is perfect. I love this. This is awesome. I love watching a guy whose career completely flamed out come back and just dominate for a couple weeks.
Speaking of riding, is Andrew going to take the team he ride or dies with in the Carolina Panthers for his underdog?
Andrew, as we know, is not the is not the spiciest of pickers there to go out on a limb there, but he does say, as only Andrew can say, how in the ever loving heck are the 2-4 Broncos favorites over the 4-2 Jets? Put some respect on the Jets' name.
Well, is that an Is it a double pick? Did Andrew just break the cardinal rule?
Well, that was his second option, because his first option was the Giants pick that I already stole.
Hold on,
all right, go with it.
You know what? I'm just happy I wasn't the first person to break the rule.
Yeah, and really, if we want to be honest with you here, JR is the reason that this one is messed up here. I only got him to blame.
Yeah.
I will be honest. My other choice, I was gonna get a little frisky if I really, really wanted to get frisky, and I was this close to taking the Lions going into Dallas. I was this close.
You know what? I was really close to taking as my lock Jacksonville.
Ooh.
Wow.
I'm not gonna do it because I like the Jets in that game, but
yeah, I just thought it was pretty classic Andrew to say ever loving heck.
I can hear him say it too.
Yeah.
Put
some darn respect.
Oh
Here,
my God.
hold on. I'm gonna be like, you guys remember the Obama anger translator from
Yeah.
Luther. I'm gonna be the Andrew trader. Put some fucking respect on their name. God,
well, you can be Andrew's anger translator.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just crazy. Well, you know what? We made some fun. We made some fun NFL picks this week. Let's do a little fun pick here. Let's have a little fun.
We should. By the way, we need to do scores. We need to do scores.
Okay. We want to run scores?
Pull them out of our ass.
Let's pull them out of our ass. Thursday Night Football. JR, go.
Thursday Night Football, 24-20.
Brennan.
I said earlier, 17-14.
I'm going to go with 21-14. All right. Down to, what is that? Sunday Night Football. I'll go first on this one. 31-14.
Wow.
Brennan.
28-16. There'll be a 2-point conversion in there somewhere. A failed or a successful, I don't know.
I say 23-16.
I like it. All right, let's move on to Monday Night Football. JR, go.
19-10.
Brennan.
19-11.
12-6.
By the way, you know what? I would like to. I'm going to make this official petition to Andrew. I would like to change up our little graphic here to include space to enter in these score predictions so we can save them for posterity.
Here, you know what? Andrew's going to ask, well, that's going to take too much to edit.
Well, that's going to take too much to edit. That's a pretty good Andrew impression.
That isn't too bad.
He's gonna feel like we're bullying on this episode.
What are the odds that we get an insertion somewhere, a special insertion somewhere?
They don't pay me enough to edit this crap.
Like the meme format.
All right, so JR, what'd you say? 19-10?
19-10.
Mine's pretty easy. It's just one more point to the Bears.
All right, so what did we say for this one? I said
31-14.
All right.
I said 28-16. And JR said 23-16.
For Monday night.
I said 17-14. I believe JR said 24-20. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You are correct. Because I was going to joke that I was channeling my my inner Tony Romo when he.
I think I said 24-14.
Did you guys catch that? Did you guys catch that clip from Sunday?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How awesome was that?
Dude, he's a fucking wizard.
All right, we ready to come back?
We are ready to come back.
All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, now let's go ahead and move on to our locks of the week. I'll start here with the Bucs. I think their offense gets back on track. I think the defense plays well. I'm going to say 35-10.
Wow.
You know what? The Jets went on the road to Green Bay and beat them 27-20. They're not facing Green Bay. They're facing Denver. Give me 38-7.
Wow.
I thought I was getting
38 points?
Total embarrassment. Well, don't get me wrong. They're going to score like twice on defense.
Wow. Okay.
JR?
Give me 31-20. Joe Burr dropping those dimes.
I like it. All right, let's move on to our locks. JR, what did the G-Men do?
The G-Men. I think they get a good 20 spot in there. Let's go 20-17 over the Jaguars.
20-17. Brennan.
I said it earlier, 27-20.
I tried to say 10. Give me Seahawks 27-23 over the Chargers.
That's tasteful. I like it.
It's tasteful. It's not egregious.
No.
It's tasteful.
As you egregious? Thinking that the Falcons are going to lose a game against the spread. They are spread kings. Even if they lose this week, it'll be less than 6 points.
So, in completely non-betting advice, go bet on the. Go bet.
Listen, I don't gamble. I think I've said it on the show. I don't like sports betting because I don't like losing. But people take my advice and people win. So do that way you will.
I like it. I like it, Jen.
Stay humble, bro.
What's humble?
Brennan Country. Let's ride.
Oh my God. Brennan Country. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
I'm gonna really, you know what? When the Russell Wilson experiment inevitably comes to a complete and total failure in 3 years and they cut him, I'm gonna miss him.
You and nobody else.
No, I mean ironically, right? Not actually, ironically miss him. I'm gonna be like, oh no, the laugh has stopped.
Well, that's
the
like in our
laughter has ended.
That's like in our Joe's on the Pros group chat when Andrew was like, "Are we ready to record today?" And I was like, "Let's ride." Let's ride. Gentlemen, any final thoughts of this week of NFL?
Crickets.
I think that says it all. I think that's silence.
If there's anything we've learned from the first 6 weeks, it's to make any kind of bold predictions, you're stepping out on the thinnest limb imaginable.
Well, to make any kind of safe prediction, you're walking out on the thinnest limb as possible too. That's kind of the thing about the NFL. It's impossible to predict. So you either end up making a super safe pick and be kind of wrong, or make a bold pick and have a 50-50 shot at being completely right or way off base.
Mm-hmm.
I'm comfortable being way off base.
You know what? I'm gonna give a crazy bold prediction.
Who would do it?
I'm gonna get crazy. Geno Smith leads the league in passes this week.
Passes or passing yards?
Passing yards.
Okay. You know what? I'll give another crazy prediction. The Falcons will have 157 team rushing yards, and Marcus Mariota will throw for over 200 yards, which at this point in time in the season implies that the offense is super clicking because they mainly just pound the rock.
I think they'll be
Joe
close.
Burrow will also throw for 453 yards with 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and they miss an extra point, and that's how they get the 20.
I think the Falcons will be closer to 57 yards than 157 yards.
I mean, they're like the number 3 rushing offense in the NFL. So,
What do you think, JR? We need a bold prediction now from you.
A bold prediction from me, huh? I will say that whoever plays quarterback for the Steelers throws for more touchdowns than Tua this weekend.
even if it's Trubisky?
Even if it's Trubisky.
Wow.
I like it. Well, this has been another episode of Joe's on the Pros, a little bit shorter edition, but you know what? We like to keep it short, sweet, and simple. Make sure to follow all the social media links down
I think
below.
we're more efficient without Andrew.
We are more efficient. We're also more efficient when I'm working on wanting to go to bed.
That's true.
This is indeed true. So this has been another great episode. We appreciate you guys joining us. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit all those social links down below. You can find all of our Twitters, and you can hear more of Brendan's degenerate gambling device. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, for JR, Brendan, and the missing Andrew, and myself, Aiden, we appreciate you guys joining us. See y'all next time.
We always want to make sure Andrew has B-roll.
Because I missed yesterday. This is the baseball podcast, right? Let's ride to bed.